Meares Homo.
Meares.
Week 2 is here.
It is.
Story of the day off the field. All covered. We don't have to cover any of that. Let's stick to what we do.
Yeah, that's not good.
And what I do is break even. 7-7-2 last week against the spread.
Yeah, I went 6-8-2, and for the first time in a long time, I lost weekly picks to you, and then I lost the fantasy battle on top of it.
I know. And why you lie when it's all on video? I mean, I do win once in a while.
That's very rare.
Oh, man. So let's get into what we're going to do anyway.
All
we're going to do a game that I pick, a game that you pick, rapid fire the rest, and we'll do some fantasy. And we'll see how we do this week. Maybe I'll go 2-0.
Comeback kid.
First game we're going to do is my game.
Yes.
My Buffalo Bills playing the Miami Dolphins for first place in the East. They're a game ahead of New England. They are going to crush the league because they crushed Chicago.
All right, well, what do you think? I want to
They're
know
a 1.5-point underdog
yes,
at home.
At home.
How are you going to do that? You just sold it to some dude that owns a hockey team.
Is that who you sold it to?
Yeah, the Buffalo Sabres owner.
Oh,
he bought them for like $16,000 last year, and the Bills go for $1.2 billion. It was some along those lines. But if things aren't looking up, you avoided John Bon Jovi. So, like, everything's going in the right direction. You won on the road, now you're coming home, and you have the disrespect of making 1.5-point underdogs? E.J. Manuel was like, he threw for like 16 yards last week.
He did.
I don't know how they put up that many points.
170.
Yeah, it's, for the points they put up, I mean, you don't get to see the game because they're not going to be covered ever. But I'm going with them to win by 3, so that's plenty when you're an underdog.
Okay. I also like Buffalo, and here's why. They are barn burners at the beginning of the season. I don't know how many times in the last couple of years they've come out and won like the first 4 games.
Barn burners?
And you're like, these guys are going to be awesome. I was also impressed last week because they had 3 guys rush for over 50 yards.
Yeah.
And they kept it. They kept Manuel in the game. He only had 1 turnover, 1 interception, but he managed the game well. He completed almost 78% of his passes. He looked good. They ran the ball well. I like them at home. I think Miami's win over New England was more of a testament to how bad New England is than to how good Miami is.
Wow.
So I would take Buffalo to go to 2-0 and have at least 1 game lead in this division, if not 2.
There you go. So for my game, I did my team. Are you going to do your team for your game?
Of course. I'm going to do the Monday night special.
Monday night
Philly
special.
traveling to Indianapolis. Indianapolis 3.5-point favorites at home.
Okay.
I've got no problem with that because the Eagles look like dog poo in the first half.
Ooh.
I didn't say shit because I didn't want to put money in now. So, I mean, to go down 17-0 to Jacksonville is a disgrace. Then to score 34 on extra points is good. Nick Foles looked a little confused and disoriented, like he got hit in the head.
No,
it was.
He wasn't making a decision.
Wasn't good. It was like the way he played against the Cowboys last year when he had that one game where he was all screwed up. This game, I think if Indianapolis can get back to the way they play football, they threw the ball 53 times last week as compared to running it 9. So that's
disproportionate.
Not a good. That's an Andy Reid type of move.
Yeah.
I think Indianapolis is going to get back to it. I would like to say I think the Eagles can win, but I think this is one of the games they're going to lose this season out of the 6 that I think they're going to lose. So I will take Indianapolis to cover 3.5 at home.
If I got $1 on a $100 bet that the Eagles are going to win the East, I would take that right now. And I put $1,000 down just because I could buy lunch with it. I mean, that's how bad the NFC East is. They got 6 guaranteed wins, I would think.
Yes.
Rivalries are rivalries. I understand that. Last week, I compared last week to this. When Tiger Woods won the Masters and set the scoring record, he shot 40 on the front.
He did.
But he came back with a 30 on the back. And that's what the Eagles did. And he went on to set records. So I don't think the first half, they were down 17-0 because Nick Foles just didn't throw the ball and fumble twice.
Yes.
And it was a quick 17-0 to a guy that had never played in the league before, and then they just had 2 catches for 201 yards and 2 touchdowns. And fantasy sites shut down because everybody picked him up right then and they didn't do anything for the rest of the game.
What was it? His last name's Hearns, right? Something Hearns.
I didn't even remember by the middle of the 3rd quarter.
I didn't either.
It was over. So I actually have, well, Indy laid an egg in the first half. They had tail of 2 halves as well. At home, I would think Indy's going to win, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they're going to cover the 3.5.
Eagles are going to cover 3.5.
They're going to cover 3.5. I'm actually going to pick them to win.
Wow.
I picked your team.
Wow.
You
and I picked your
team.
team.
There you go.
All right.
Good luck. Time for the rapid fire. We'll do the rest of the games. You read them. I'll pick them. You pick yours. Let's go.
All right. We're going to start Thursday night. Pittsburgh hosting Baltimore. That used to be a Clash of the Titans, but not so much anymore. Baltimore's up by 2.5.
I'll take Baltimore. I think they're going to cover. They're 0-1, and I think they're going to not lose the first 2 games at home.
Too many off-field distractions. Give me Pittsburgh to win outright, so I'll take the 2.5.
Didn't even think about the off-field distractions.
Detroit traveling to Carolina. Carolina favored by 3.5. Cam Newton should be back.
I don't understand how they would even be favored after Detroit, the way Detroit looked and the way. I mean, Carolina beat Tampa, but it wasn't like a juggernaut.
I agree.
I got Detroit winning, so it's not even close.
There's there's something weird going on with this line. I agree. I am tending to lean towards Detroit, so I'm going to take Detroit also. So give me the 3.5. Atlanta traveling to Cincinnati. This is actually a really good game. Cincinnati favored by 5.5, facing Atlanta who beat New Orleans.
I don't understand the automatic assumption that it's a good game.
Well, you got 2 1-0 teams.
There you go. Cincinnati to me is just not anything that is ever going to be formidable. And I got Atlanta beating New Orleans last week, even though they were at home. It was a lot to take with the offense, and Matt Ryan looked good. I'm not a big supporter of him.
He looked good.
Fantasy-wise, he was phenomenal. But hey, you know what? I got Atlanta winning this game too. So I mean, I got parlays out the ass.
I think because this is at home for Cincinnati, I don't think Atlanta plays as well outdoors. I know it'll still probably be nice out, but give me Cincinnati to cover the 5.5.
Fucking September 10th.
New England.
That was a big one. Paid double that. We're out of quarters.
New England is traveling to Minnesota, coming off a devastating loss to Miami. Now they're going to Minnesota, who put up a ton of points against St. Louis last week. Minnesota is the underdog at home by 3.5.
I never beat Meares or anything. Minnesota wins the division. They're 1-0. They're in first place. They're tied with Detroit. This week they're going to be tied with Detroit again because they're winning this game outright. Corduroy Patterson is going to be the MVP of the league, and that's why I drafted him in the 4. I don't know how to say his first name, but I'm calling him Corduroy Patterson. He's the reason I won my fantasy this week, and he might be my fantasy pick.
I'm going to take New England to cover the 3.5.
Nobody says
they
that.
can hear
in the New England accent.
I don't know what that was. It just came out weird. Yeah. Well, they'll be able to hear Corduroy's pants shuffling when they're running down the field. New England's going to win this game. They're not going to start 0-2.
Okay.
Miami.
Last time they won the Super Bowl.
Dallas traveling to Tennessee. Tennessee favored by 3.5. How that's not more, I don't know. But what do you think?
Tennessee destroyed Kansas City, so I can't wait to see them play this week because Kansas City has Denver, and based on the way they played last week, that game's going to be over at 12:30 standard time, wherever the hell they play it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not. I got Tennessee. Who are they playing?
Dallas.
Oh yeah, it's goddamn Dallas is terrible. Terrible.
I am also going to take Tennessee to cover the 3.5, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say this week Romo throws 2 interceptions. He brings a better game. Jacksonville traveling to Washington. Washington has a 6.5 point favorite coming off a loss at Houston.
This is impossible because Jacksonville, after the initial handing of 17 points, did nothing. The body of work for Washington for 4 quarters was nothing. So give me what is it? Is it a half?
6.5. Yeah, I can't take push.
Heads Jacksonville, tails Washington. Washington.
I too would take Washington because I cannot ever pick Jacksonville. They're that bad. So I will lay the 6.5. Arizona traveling to the New York Football Giants. The New York Football Giants are favored by 1.5.
Arizona not even close.
Agreed.
Arizona wins by 10, and Giants are bad.
We just did that one. New Orleans traveling to Cleveland to the Dog Pound. New Orleans is a 6.5 point favorite on the road.
I got to take New Orleans. Cleveland showed a lot of heart last week. But I think it also showed how bad Pittsburgh really is.
It was one of the games they won. I covered the Cleveland game. I told you they were going to win. They were going to cover. They did.
If you'd won one more, you wouldn't be a loser.
I'm riding Cleveland again. I think they definitely cover at home opener. Brian Hoyer is a good quarterback, and we will not have to listen to the other guy backup name anymore.
I'm with you on the Hoyer thing, but they lose by 10.
Cleveland will cover. All right, we'll cover the 6.5. St. Louis, awful. Traveling to Tampa Bay, awful. Tampa Bay favored by 5.5.
Who cares?
You got a big one.
Who cares? Who's quarterback? Can I quarterback for St. Louis? They brought in a guy that I swear to God he played against me in high school.
I don't know. I
swear to God.
I don't know anything about it.
It's Tampa. Just give me Tampa.
I'm going to take Tampa too because I have Tavon Austin.
Ooh, Tampa too. That's defense.
I have Tavon Austin and Zach Stacy, and I think together they combine for 7 yards. So that team is horrible. I'll take Tampa Bay to cover 5.5. Seattle traveling to San Diego. San Diego is a 5.5 point underdog at home.
That's fine. It's not going to make a difference. I said San Diego's going to win 4 games. I was kind of tongue-in-cheek with that, but, you know, after the game against Arizona, forget about it. That was half a curse. I put in a penny. No, that's fine. Seattle wins and covers.
I'm going to take Seattle to cover also, and I cannot wait to see how many times we get to see the bitch face out of Philip Rivers.
In there. That's not a bad. They can say that on TV, so we haven't put any silver in there yet.
Kansas City traveling to Mile High to face Denver. Denver is only 13.5 point favorites.
I'm not going to take a 13.5 point spread because I just don't do it. So I got to take Kansas City, but they're not going to win. But I just won't take a 13.5 point spread because it's a sucker spread.
Well, I'll tell you what. Denver didn't cover last week at 7.5 or 7. We pushed that game. I think they covered this one easily. I think they're going to beat them by 30 points. So I will actually give the 13.5 take Denver.
It's a trap.
Jets traveling to Green Bay. Green Bay 8.5 point underdog.
Did you ever pause your TV and then hit the fast forward button and it's kind of like people going like this? That was the Jets Oakland game the entire time last week. It was like, what on earth is anybody moving? Is anybody moving in this game? So no. 8.5. I normally don't touch that, but give me a break. The Jets aren't good, so I gotta take Green Bay, even though they just laid a freaking egg last week. They were terrible.
Oh, Seattle though. I think Green Bay at home is definitely going to destroy the Jets. I don't like the fact that I saw Rex Ryan acting like he won the Super Bowl after he won a game against Oakland at home. Did
he really do that?
It was horrible. He was jumping around, hugging people.
Richard Simmons should lose more weight.
Ridiculous. Houston traveling to Oakland. Oakland is a 2.5 point underdog at home. A lot of home dogs this week.
I'm taking Houston to run the table. 16-0. Ryan Fitzpatrick. Buffalo wants to cut me because I'm mediocre. Watch this. I'll take my beard elsewhere.
I actually like Houston with Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm glad they didn't play that other guy, Ryan Mallett. So, yeah, I'll take Houston, and I'll lay the 2.5. Chicago traveling. This is the last one. To San Francisco. San Francisco favored by 6.5. And I will say that I did badmouth San Francisco a little bit last week, and I can eat some crow. I mean, they look good. They did play Dallas, but they look good.
I got the final score is going to be Chicago 56, San Francisco 55. So who's that make me pick?
That would make you pick Chicago.
Yeah, give me Chicago. Neither of them have a defense. It's terrible.
I'm going to take San Francisco. Home opener, new stadium. It's going to be rocking.
San Francisco's got a terrible defense, and everybody's suspended, and then they get like 3 touchdowns. Or whatever the hell he had.
Yeah.
I went against him in fantasy. It was like, they didn't do well except for the fact that Romo was like,
one great stat about San Francisco game. In the first quarter, they held the ball for 93 seconds and they were up 21-3.
That is a fun fact.
That is a fun fact. Let's move on to fantasy.
Now it's time for a fantasy segment, a segment I have dominated throughout history.
Yeah, well, let's explain it a little bit better, too, because I don't think we did a great job of explaining it.
Because we just came up with what we were doing 30 seconds ago.
So we're going to each pick a player every week. Once we pick that player, we can't pick him again. Doing standard fantasy rules.
Yeah, whatever.
Point per reception.
PPR league.
Right.
But not an IDP league.
And at some point during the season, we have to pick one player from each position.
That includes kicker, and it includes defense. It's going to be tough.
So, last week you had Peyton Manning, I had LaShawn McCoy. You're up 25-17.
1-0.
This week I'm going with Drew Brees.
Ooh. That's awesome.
You didn't know who I was picking, who?
No, I'm picking Jimmy Graham. I just killed you. I just took all your touchdowns. He's going to have a big week against Cleveland. It's friggin' great.
All right, so you got a tight end. I got a quarterback. And let's see how it goes this week.
So that's our show for week 2.
It's going to be a comeback.
Up next, week 3.
Wow, did you just figure that out?
I've done this for so many years now. I know what the next
We're starting to get the numbers in order.
I know, it's awesome.
Make sure you subscribe, like, thumbs up, comment. We want to hear comments. We got some good comments last week. We are on Twitter, as you can see down here, at Meares. Yeah, it's right below there. And we'll keep the records updated all season so you can see when I take over.
We didn't have any flags.
Hey,
we kept it clean.
You did a good fucking job this week.
Hey, and then maybe we'll get some silver for next week because we're down to pennies. I use this all week.
See you week 3.